Good morning, everybody. As Sabine said, I'm Joachim. I'm the spokesman of the regulatory authorities in Germany, but here today I'm in the function of speaker of ClickSafe within the Safer Internet program. Why I'm mentioning that I'm also speaker of the regulatory authorities is that when we started 10 years ago with the Safer Internet program in Germany and ClickSafe, we realized very quick that it's not possible. We have a very, as Christine said, we have a very high elaborated regulatory system and youth protection system in Germany, well, all over Europe. But when we started with ClickSafe and the Safer Internet issues, we realized very quick it's not possible to adopt the framework we had from the analog world of the broadcasting systems to the Internet, to the digital world. It's just not possible. So we tried with ClickSafe to set up a whole new scenario for education for children, parents, and for teachers. Because if you would like to strengthen children, you also have to strengthen and empower the environment of the children. And these are, of course, parents, but probably even more than parents, schools and teachers. So our scenario is basically built up on 3 pillars. It's content, it's marketing, it's networking. First, content. Content for children, content for parents, and content for teachers. This must be different. How to reach teachers, how to reach parents, how to reach children cannot be with the same methods. Children, today we have on the ClickSafe webpage a whole new section for children where children can go and log in, and then they find especially produced materials for them. We call them click tips, and they get a lot of advice for recommended sites. Sabine mentioned the PostCon project. We were also hosting the PostCon project with ClickSafe in Germany, and we just finished it now some weeks ago. And so this is a section especially built up with content for children where they find recommended sites and safe content. We are also working, we're building up peer-to-peer groups. We call them media scouts. It's quite successful in some states in Germany, where we educated adolescents in online issues, and then they are the teachers for their peer groups. And this, of course, is very more productive and very more efficient than if the teacher is just telling them what to do. Parents. I must honestly say that this probably is the most difficult part we had to cope with. Of course, we go to schools and we make workshops for parents, and we try to involve parents in the whole scenarios, because parents most of the time are very much aware and of the risks, and a lot of time they say they have fear of the online world, but it's very difficult to reach parents. Sabine mentioned Klaus, so I will say something to our methods how we reach parents a little bit later when I talk of Klaus. So we do workshops for parents, but the effects are limited, and we have to think more what we can do in this section. Teachers, school and teachers. We had an example about 15 years ago in Germany when it was an initiative called school computers or schools online. So Deutsche Telekom invested a lot of money and giving computers to all schools nationwide. That was a big campaign, a lot of money, but it was a big failure. Why was it a failure? Because it was just the hardware, but there was no concept of education and how the teachers should work with the computers. So the computers were just there, but most of the teachers just ignored it, and they continued how they worked before. So we thought probably it's not everybody was complaining the teachers, but we thought probably it's not the fault of the teachers. What can we do? How to reach the teachers? And if you think how a teacher, at least in Germany, works, when he is educating and teaching Shakespeare or First World War, then he is used to get from the ministry a very detailed and elaborated guideline for a concrete lesson, how to do Shakespeare in 45 seconds in a lesson. Very concrete, very detailed, like a guideline. And for online issues, he didn't got it, so he just didn't do it. So we thought, okay, then we give him a teacher's handbook where he got concrete lessons, how to talk on cyberbullying, how to talk on pornography, how to talk on problematic issues in class. So we set up a whole scenario of teachers' handbooks, and that really worked out well. For instance, we have at the moment we have more than 1 million, not only the teachers' handbooks, but mostly the teachers' handbooks on different issues. We have more than 1 million printed copies we produce every year just on online education materials now. So I think that worked out well, and it was a successful campaign that teachers now are talking on cyberbullying, on pornography, and on problematic issues on the net in class. That basically is these are the major pillars of the content section. Marketing. Of course, 8 years ago when we started the campaign, we thought, okay, what we are not marketing people. I come, as I said before, from a corporate body. But we had very close contacts, of course, as a regulatory authority to all the TV stations in Germany. So then we thought, why not putting an advertisement on youth protection on TV? And talking to the TV stations if they give us free air, because this also you need if you have a clip. And then together with Ogilvy and Mather, which is a renowned agency, we produced Klaus, and who became one of the most non-profit video clips in Europe within the last years. And Klaus is a very good ambassador for our internet safety issues around the world now. He's he's Pablo in Spain, or Christian in Denmark, or Max in Moscow, Arthur in France. He's really an international grown-up guy now, and but this was a big thing to reach a mass audience, confronting the mass audience with the issue of internet safety. Of course, we are trying to showing presence on fairs. We go to the Gamescom and to other international fairs, and try to get into contact. Of course, we participate with the IGF, and Sabine just mentioned it, and we were very glad to cooperate with you in Istanbul. We have a youth protection advisory board only of young people, and this year we were making a workshop on the IGF in Istanbul, and the idea behind is that we try to involve young people also with a peer-to-peer approach, to involve young people very early into our work. So if we are producing materials, if we are writing teachers' handbooks, then the advisory board of not only of the adults but also of the young people are already integrated in our concept. Last but not least, the networking. Of course, I mean we all live by networking. We have an advisory board. Otto is here this morning, and 22 other people from from the industry, from ministries, from NGOs, from everybody in Germany who is involved in online safety. We are working, of course, as being part. ClickSafe is the German branch of the Safer Internet program. So, of course, we are very close. We are working very close together with the other partners of the member states. And the idea of the InSafe network is that we exchange ideas. That was also the platform where we introduced Klaus to other countries and to other national campaigns in other languages. And of course, we also adopt materials and ideas from other colleagues within the networks. For instance, we have a Norwegian teacher's handbook. We translated it into German. And this is also very, very sensitive work within the InSafe network, and there are also limitations. I learned a lot because sometimes you can't, even we have all the same values in Europe, sometimes it's not so easy to just translate one document you have produced in German to another culture in a European context. Yes, I would say this is very briefly what we do, and thank you for listening.